Hello and welcome to Fortune India. I am Ashutosh Kumar. Electrification and automation major ABB India has posted a 54% hike in profits for calendar year 2024 along with record order book as well as revenues. To put these numbers in perspective and the future plans and his views on the Indian economy as a whole, I have with me ABB India MD Sanjeev Sharma. Thanks a lot, sir, for joining us. In fact, blockbuster set of numbers at a time when quarterly results have sent shivers down the equity market. So, your first reaction and how did you actually achieve it? What were the factors contributing to it?
Firstly, Ashutosh, welcome to ABB
Thank you.
ABB Maneja, which is the mothership of ABB operations in India. That's where we started. It's 75th year for ABB in India.
Great.
And this is a journey which is long. And what we find is that over a period of time, we have built a robust portfolio of solutions in 18 divisions, and we operate in 23 market segments.
Right.
And if you really look into our operational performance this last quarter and the quarters before, there's a consistency built into it because all our businesses are engaging with multiple market segments. We are expanding into geographies and we are continuously expanding our portfolio and localizing it. That is giving us competitive edge. And when we operationalize it, it shows up in our numbers.
Right. Now, one thing I would like to understand from you, sir, since you told that, you touch industries across sectors. Now, in the last 6 months, there have been a lot of concerns on this consumption slowdown, on demand traction kind of going slow and tepid. What has been your experience from the industries and the segments that you cater to?
We see a robust formation of demand in most of the market segments, and we, as I said, are into 23 market segments. I would say out of that, about 5 of them are really high growth market segments. 8 of them are moderate growth, which is between about 11% growth, and the high growth we could classify as something which is above 11%. And then you have the low growth segments, which are about 7 to 11%. Now, these particular market segments, when we look into it, it has a cyclic nature, because the capex or the money spent by the businesses and these segments, it happens over a period of time. It peaks and then it moves over, leadership moves to the other. So that's the advantage of being engaged with the multiple market segment. Each one of them goes through different cycles,
right,
and they are not correlated with each other.
Right.
So that's what we capture.
In this year's revenue, which are the top 2-3 sectors that have contributed?
So we see a data center. It definitely is on the top, and the growth is amazing in that area. Purely on back of what this nation is doing for last 8-9 years, digitization of everything, e-commerce. And also now the demand that all the data capturing should be captured locally. So there's a big expansion of data centers in the country, and ABB is a leading supplier of power supplies or the power infrastructure for the data centers globally, and same is getting reflected as the data center expand. Electronics manufacturing is another area which is expanding, renewables, to name the few. Yes.
So these are some of the new areas you're talking about, but what kind of traction has been seen when it comes to metros, when it comes to railways, highways, or any other segment, power specifically? In hospitality also you've got a very significant presence, and with the kind of demand push that the government has announced, how do you see things panning out in the traditional aspects of the business?
In the traditional, as we used to define as the core segments for the country, metals and minings contributed quite a bit in our books.
Right.
We also had a good contribution from in the revenue side coming from the metro as well as on the railway market segment, because there's a good expansion taking place there. And at this point of time, country is consuming high quality and high engineered goods, which ABB is known for. So it's a sweet spot for us. Yes.
See, one concern that has come up in this year's budget, while the government has attempted through tax cuts to push demand, and basically they have kind of shown more faith on the Indian public to kind of pull the economy. But one of the concerns has been that the capex allocation has slowed down. In fact, if you compare B to B, budget estimate to budget estimate, it is almost flat. So, what are your viewpoints and how do you see this, and do you see any repercussion going forward?
So see, there are two ways to look at the market. One is to do it from the macro side, which you were mentioning.
Right.
A lot of people read the macro parameters and try to infer what's going on in the economy.
Right.
There's a good way to analyze it, but it is meant for certain section of analysts. The way we analyze our market is how the formation of the capex for the products and services we can sell. There we see a fairly robust lineup, and very reason our revenues have grown at a robust pace. That means somebody is spending capex for it.
Right.
So somebody has planned it, and somebody has kind of planned that capex. So capex is happening. It's much more broad based. How people used to correlate capexes in certain core sectors in the past. I think that has totally changed in the country. Now the economy is much more broad based,
Right.
and it's happening into different market segments, and probably that's not monitored as closely as the core segments which were traditionally known as to provide the capex growth. Yeah.
So you are saying essentially that it is the sunrise sectors which are coming up with mega plans, and a lot of traction is likely to be seen on that side.
I would say
Solarization.
sunrise sectors and the medium sized companies
Right.
spending to expand their businesses. That's one. The core sector like the metals, mining, you may not have a big announcement about the greenfield projects, but then they have a lot of expansion going on in their existing facilities, and which again is capex from their side, and that's where we participate. And apart from that, since we are here for a very long period of time, we also have a very strong install base. We continue to service that install base. So OPEX is also we participate with.
So in a way, are you suggesting that the private capex is picking up, though it may be slow, but small and medium companies are getting into the game?
I mean,
one of the criticisms has been in the last 5 years that private sector is not coming out with investment plans and all, but what's your view basically?
I think there is an expectation in certain quarters that how the private sector should participate. From our lens, the way we participate in the market and how our customers are, they are spending money. Okay. And we cater to, if you see, we cater to very large customers who could be setting up metals or large capex project. We also are suppliers to the machinery builder who could be building a machine but supplying for exports, or could be supplying into the local industries. They are our customers.
Right.
Small customers sitting in tier 2, tier 3 cities are our expanding customer base, because that's where a lot of spending is taking place in the infrastructure, buildings, and the new generational, the market segment which are opening up. It could be in the water segment. It could be in the areas wherein it's just the small segment for us, but we are kind of trying to provide our products and services to see whether the customers are attracted to that.
Right.
So I think the name of the game is to expand the product portfolio for multiple market segments, go into new geographies, and also cater to companies which are replacing the imports which India used to do, because that's getting value added locally, and that's where new business opportunities are opening.
Right. So in these expansions and in these, what is the kind of investment that we are looking at or expecting from ABB India? Could you share some details in terms of numbers actually?
So we have 18 divisions. All of them are in expansion mode. Some of them, I would say some of them are very large businesses. So we call them the head businesses, and they are investing on an incremental basis in the existing facilities, more for the productivity as well as some expansion on the capacities. But by that we are able to serve more customers, and also a lot of localization. That's where again a lot of investment goes from us. And then we have the tail businesses, which are small businesses but lately we find that they have now outgrown their existing infrastructure. So we are expanding, the infrastructure for them so that they are able to cater to customers with a higher volume. Now, in terms of numbers, I think we have a certain rhythm of investing money every year. I would say those numbers are published, and of course, when you speak to our CFO, he'll be able to give you that.
Right. On that note, sir, thanks a lot for this wonderful conversation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashutosh.